Hello everybody, Simon here. In today's episode we are going to make a simple keyhole card holder. I think it's one of the best projects for beginners and also people that want to make a gift in your own hands. As you can see, the template is one of those that we made on our channel together. I'm going to link up the video soon. It's going to be made after I make this video. So we are gluing the first template on the old one to make sure that our template is going to be nice and rigid and it's going to hold shape when we're going to trace it, and it's going to last for longer. For cutting, I'm making sure that my knife is extremely sharp, so I'm snapping one of the blades and I'm just using a straight ruler to make clean cuts all along the edges. To make sure that my round edges are the best condition, I'm using a special tool that I got cheaply from, I think, AliExpress. It was very affordable, but it makes the job very good. Today we're going to use the calfskin. This is 1.2mm calfskin. It's vegetable tan leather. There is no finish on it. I really like to work with this leather. After cutting, we of course have to trace the leather. We are tracing the templates with the leather working span. After tracing, we're gonna go to cutting, and again we're using an extremely sharp blade and we try to make the best cuts possible. After cutting, we have to finish up and make the touch-ups to remove any imperfections. I'm using a sanding block, and I'm going to also use a rotary tool that I got cheaply from a hardware store. You don't have to use it, it just makes my job really easy, and I like to using it in my work. Here I use the lowest setting. Now I'm using an edge beveler. This is the very thin one, to clean up the edges and prepare for buffing and making sure that they are nice and crisp. I'm doing it from the both sides to make sure that the edges are going to be beveled in a nice pointy position. I'm also doing it from the inside because we are not going to be able to get there after we glue the piece together. Here I'm applying Tokonol. If you don't have this compound, you can use the other, or if you're totally beginner, you can just use water. Water works great. I used to work with water before I got Tokonol. And here I'm using a small slicker. It's nice to go to these crevices and edges. I advise you to get one if you have projects like this that are not very big and that they need a lot of this very precise work. Here I'm applying Tokonol on the top side that is not going to be accessible after gluing, and I'm just buffing it with slicker. I make sure to go in every crevice to touch the every edge with Tokonol. And after that I'm going to mark up our gluing lines. So here I use calipers in 5mm setting, and I'm just tracing inside of our project to make sure that I apply the glue evenly and that there is no glue outflowing out of my project. I do it in both sides because I'm applying glue to both sides of my project. And after that I'm just using the wood-based glue, applying it with the applicator. You can just use it straight from the box. And after that I'm just using a small tool to make the applying of the glue even all around the edges. You can just use a piece of scrap leather, it's going to work. That's great. After gluing, I'm just going to go and make things that everything is nice and straight, and very slowly make our project glued together. That's our final glued project. After cleaning up, I'm going to use, of course, the sanding block and very fine sandpaper. We are going to be ready to put on stitch marks. Here I'm using 0.3mm calipers adjustment so I can make a nice stitch line, and of course I'm using the edge beveler for the cleanup work after the cleaning up with the sandpaper to make sure that the edges are going to be nice and crisp after applying Tokonol and buffing them. Today we're not gonna use edge paint, it's going to be used by us in a different project. Today we're just doing a very easy buffing with Tokonol. Here I'm using pricking irons just to set my marks, and after punching them we're going to be ready for applying our thread. Today I'm going to be using this lamp thread in this nice cream color that is going to make our piece nice and organic, so I think it's going to really work really well. Here you see me using a beeswax to make thread nice and rigid. I like to apply beeswax before stitching. It makes my thread a little bit more pliable and it smells nice, to be honest. And today we're going to make a stitching with a French type of stitching, also known as style stitching. It's very secure and looks pretty good. Here you see me not actually using heat, I'm using glue to hide our ends of the line. I'm pushing them inside of our stitch lines. And for final cleanup, I'm using a very fine grit sandpaper. It's 1500 grit, and I'm just going all to the edges to make sure that they're nice and cleaned before applying Tokonol and buffing or slicking. Again, I'm using the wood slicker that's very thin. You can use the regular one, the cheap one from the website, but I advise you to get a nice and slick one from the cheap websites. It's going to make your job really easy and just sits nice in your hand. After finishing the lines, our project is done. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you like our projects that we do together. Let me know how you like this type of narration in the videos. Do you prefer me talking in real time or after the video is done? I hope you like the project. The PDF, of course, is down in the description. Make sure to subscribe my channel, like this video. If you like this project, share. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.